We're in fucking sacred space, right? And we're loving each other, right? And we're in digital intimacy, right? And we're unabashed, and we're proud of it. Divine pride. Look at the screen, right, for a second. And this is perhaps part of our intention. Look at the screen. We're looking at a screen. There's a screen. Now, we've been told that this screen is somehow non-intimate, right? That intimacy happens in person. But the screen is somehow problematic. The screen has somehow reduced us. Now, that's not entirely wrong. There's something enormously important about the exchange of embodied presence with each other. And we absolutely need to create embodied presence. And imagine if Facebook optimized not for stealing attention, right, to fuel what's called the attention economy, meaning to engage a person for as long as possible. And engagement is a euphemism for addiction, in order to do the most reality mining of your data, in order to sell that data to disinterested third parties. Imagine if Facebook actually optimized for getting people involved in embodied meetings in their local communities. Facebook could easily do that. And Facebook is not just a tool, it's not value neutral. Social media, which is essentially AI. Social media is just another word for AI. Social media is an early form of AI, right? I was talking to my partner, Zach Stein, this morning, and we were talking, or last night, and we were talking about how AI itself runs through all of social media. We just call it social media. But of course, in fact, there's a computer that points at you as you're scrolling through TikTok or scrolling through Facebook or scrolling through Instagram that actually integrates instantly through machine intelligence algorithms, AKA AI, everything about you in order to give you the next piece of information or the next image that will keep you for the longest amount of time, which will hijack your attention, not for your interest, not optimized for you, but to actually reality mine data about you, which is more available because you stayed on longer, because your attention was held longer, which then can be sold, increasing, right, the profit of a very, very narrow group of people. But of course, Facebook doesn't have to, or TikTok doesn't have to optimize that way. TikTok could be optimized for creating beautiful embodied online engagement or beautiful embodied in-person engagement. Facebook can optimize for whatever it wants. So technology is not value neutral. Technology is coded with value. So of course, if Facebook optimized for in-person meeting, that'd be fantastic. That'd be beautiful. Right? People would be meeting in person all over the place, and that'd be beautiful. And so there's a great beauty for embodied meeting. An embodied meeting is necessary, and the web absolutely can't replace it. I want to take that as a given. Okay. And part of the revolution is to get out of the screen and into embodied presence with each other, holding each other, hugging each other, right? Hugging each other, right? A hug is the beginning of any real revolution. If we can't hug each other, revolution doesn't work. If we can't touch and feel each other and smell each other, right, and be in the space together, right, and gather around the table together, right, then we can't respond to existential risk. That's all true. And now here's a big and, okay? So that was all part one. Part one, now part two. Who's with me for part two? Anybody in for part two? Let's go for part two, because this is crazy important. Right, here's part two, crazy important, okay? And there's a second notion of intimacy, which takes place on the web. We can actually be online in front of the screen and be intimate. We don't need to be reduced. We don't need to be merely downgraded human beings controlled by upgraded algorithms. We can actually meet here like we do every week in one mountain in this online church, synagogue, mosque, right? Civic center, Buddhist, Zendo, and we can actually be digitally intimate. We can be intimate with each other. is we can be in this screen and just look at the screen in front of you. It's kind of wild, right? So we're told, oh, this screen disintermediates intimacy. Well, yeah, we got that. But now let's look at the screen and let's look at kind of how gorgeous it is. So first off, let's just take a look. First off, we're focused on each other. You feel the kind of absolute focus? We're actually looking right at each other. And we're in the screen together. We're in the space together. And there's another kind of subtle energy that actually lives in the space that's actually real. And we can actually find each other. And we can actually, if we open our heart and we let the values that live, or the value or the Tao of reality, we let it come alive, we can actually find each other on this screen, and we can begin to create participatory communities that are real. Because we're having real conversations, we're committed to real value, and we're actually loving each other. We're actually finding each other, and we're finding each other in sound and in heart and in subtle energy. And we can actually feel each other in our bodies, and we can literally reach in. So see if you can just feel the field, and let's feel all over the world. We're literally coming together around the world, and we're feeling each other, and we're holding each other. And so we're creating this space of digital intimacy. And you can look, by the way, on the website of the Center for Integral Wisdom, and there's an entire section called digital intimacy, right? The need to create intimacy within the structure of the World Wide Web. And it's not to create downgraded human beings, but to actually use this modality to actually upgrade, to actually pay attention, to actually step in, to focus on each other, to bloom each other open with our intention, to look in each other's eyes, to feel each other. So let's just, if you can for a second, let's just feel each other. Just feel each other. Just imagine, just feel each other, right? Just link hands, hearts open, right? Around the world, right? We're finding each other. And those people who are with us now live, and those people who are with us, if you're listening to the replay, and this is like week 300, and I don't know, 45, 46, right? That we've been together every week without fail. Right? And we this is actually a deep part of our home. This is not, oh, we don't have a home, and this is kind of like the second rate. No. On the one hand, this doesn't replace embodied. That's the whole opening that we did. This does not replace embodied somatic presence with each other where we can hug each other. On the other hand, this is also not a booby prize. It's not like, oh, wow, we couldn't get to it. This is just a booby prize, a second order, essentially inadequate, broken, kind of tragic circumstance. Not at all. We're in community because this medium allows us to be, but we're going to invest this medium with evolutionary love. We're going to invest it with value. We're going to invest it with digital intimacy. Okay? Does that make sense? Who can feel that? And actually, in the screen, you can actually feel the parameter of the screen. You can feel the unique focus we can have in the screen. You can feel our unique presencing of each other in the screen in a way that actually, in certain ways, doesn't happen in in-person conversation where the attention leaks or escapes, right? And just look what else can happen. This is really crazy. So just watch. So as we talk to each other here, there's a chat box. Now check this out, my friends. So we can have a chat box, which allows people to both be in the conversation and then also kind of add their yes or add their open heart, right? Or add just, a couple of words so that there's now a second strain of conversation taking place between, hundreds of us around the world. So as, right, I'm talking, right, or whoever is talking, there's this second strain of conversation taking place in the chat box at the same time, okay? Now then, we could, now let's just try this for a second. Let's just do this for 1 second, okay? Let's just bring a bunch of people on. Whoever brings people on. Let's just bring people on for a second, okay? Just play, focus on the field. Folks, stay in the field. Stay in the field, okay? So let's bring people on. I want to change whoever brings people on. Krista, Christina, Amelon, our holy team. Just forget about our normal order. Let's just bring some people on so we can see other people on the screen. Okay, can we do that? See if we can do that, okay? Whatever it takes to do that. There we go. Let's bring some people on. Okay, let's bring some people on, as many as we can. Okay? Like let's bring just we're just gonna test it and show it for a second, okay? Let's just feel this. Okay, so there I see Christina Amelon. Okay, where there's a bunch more people, some more people coming on. Okay, there we go. Okay. Hi, Edwin. Good to see you, man. Right. Christiane, great to see you. Yay. Right. Ms. Doc. Right. Luke, good to see you, man. Right. Awesome. Who do we got? There's Raquel. Right. Raquel's in Germany. Right. Right. Edwin, where are you? Okay, give me some more people. Bring some more people on. Okay. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Okay. And take a while. That's okay. Right. Bring everyone on. Right. We'll just kind of we won't bring everyone. We'll just bring as many as we can. Right. In a minute. All of a sudden, like, can you do this in an in-person conversation? You can't do this. Right. Just notice that. Right. This is not a second best. This is not some, right. We actually have to feel, and this is, and I want to, we created this word like in 2014, and I haven't come back to it enough, and it's crazy important. Digital intimacy. This is digital intimacy. We're around the world. We can find each other. We can look at each other. Now, anyone who wants to, just say hi in the chat box. Okay, anyone, just give us like just some expression of like, I am here. Like, I'm here, right? Love, right? Show up. Just give us a little show up in the chat box. Anybody, right? Yo, I'm here. Okay, Luke, great. Renee, right? Stephanie, right? Elena, right? Ujas, right? Myra, right? Coming at you, right? Marriott, right? Erin, right? Edwin, right? Benjamin, right? Amara, right? Rock it out. Right, look at that chat box, right? We can feel each other. Now, can you feel that? I can feel it. I can feel it. Can you do that? Just two people sitting in a room with the attentions leaking, escaping? Can't do that, right? Kim, right? Kirsten, right? Here we are. So there's and we're in this screen, right? We're in this, right? This home, we're in this Cullen, right? It's like, whoa, Rob, yo, right? This is a big deal. Digital intimacy is a big deal, right? And in some sense, I want to kind of, tenderly say, whoa, we have to really focus and pay attention to One Mountain in a big way, okay? Next week, we're going to have a special week with a special guest. And then we're going to have, into July, and then we have August, right? So we're going to have these great couple of months coming up. And then we're going to kind of, when we hit September, we want to go to the next level. There's a desperate need to create in the online spaces genuine digital intimacy, which then becomes the ground for revolution, right? And as we can't just get offline or reject the techplex, we have to engage technology and download value and evolutionary love into the techplex itself, okay? Now, again, not in place of embodied communities, but co-important, co-valuable, wildly important. And it's, we need to hijack the web from the webmasters. Does everyone get it? This is digital intimacy. It's a wildly important and beautiful space, okay? So that's just one thing, just in terms of setting, just kind of where we are, right? And actually, that's what we've been doing the whole time. That's actually what we're doing right here. What we're doing right here is that is what this is, right? And just the way I've heard all these conversations this week, different people, chatting, and we almost forget what we're doing, right? We are in this notion of digital intimacy, right? And the web doesn't disintermediate intimacy. It actually creates intimacy. I mean, there are people, right, in One Mountain that I've never met, right, that I feel enormously close to. And I've only met on the screen, and I feel actually infinitely closer to them than lots of people that I've been in the many, many rooms with over many years. Isn't that wild? That's just an actual fact. I feel more intimate, closer to, heart more open, shared value, shared vision, right, with dozens of people in One Mountain that I've never met. Now, is that an illusion? No, it's not. It's actually real digital intimacy. I'm like, whoa, right? Like, whoa, check that out. So that's one, okay? That's one. Two is we're a synagogue, and we're a secular humanist center, and we're a church, and we're a mosque, right? And we're, a bar, right? And we're in Haight-Ashbury, right? And we're, right, high-end restaurant, right? And we're kind of a dorm room late at night. We're all those things together, right? But we're together, right? And in this space, this is church space, right? I mean, it's a sacred space. It's real space. So we pray in this space, and we up-level what prayer means. We evolve what prayer means, right? And we're doing this revolutionary act. We're telling this new story of value, right, in this place. And we're each week articulating a new chapter in that story. And then then we write it up, and then we share it, and we get feedback, and we're here together as revolutionaries, writing a new story of value, right? Telling the new story, gathering around the campfire at this moment of meta crisis, at this moment in which we're poised between utopia and dystopia, at this moment in which there's a kind of imminent sense of catastrophic risk and existential risk. Risk to our very existence as human beings. Literally, will there be people on Earth? But equally dire, perhaps more dire, to our very humanity. And so what we need to do is we need to recover what does it mean to be a human being? Right? What does it mean to be a baby-faced divine? What does it mean in the tradition, the lineages? What does it mean to be Metatron? What does it mean to be Metatron? And Metatron is the human being who knows that she's held by the infinite and she participates in the infinite at the same time, right? Right? What does it mean to know that reality is the infinity of intimacy that knows my name? Not as a declaration, right? But an actual lived experience of what reality is. So wow, right? Wow. So I just wanted to set that intention and to kind of remember this crazy matters. And, do you remember, I don't know how many people that I know we're about half European, different countries, and maybe we have, I don't know, a third to half American. So this is for the Americans. You might have learned this in European history, but probably not. There was a captain in the Revolutionary Army. I think his name was John Paul Jones. Could that be John Paul Jones? Who remembers it from kind of American history? And he's, the British want to board his, boat because his boat's sinking. And they say, yield, surrender. And he says, we have not yet begun to fight, right? It's like a great, we have not yet begun to fight, right? We have not yet begun to love. But we have not yet begun to love. We're just getting started, right? We have not yet begun to build a one mountain, many paths, which people can join all over the world and find each other in the field of value and find each other in the field of Eros. We have not yet begun to love. We have not yet begun to unleash the commitment, the ecstasy, the depth, right? The reason, the deep, still voice, right? The reaching yearning, right? The longing, right? The togetherness, the intimate communion. We haven't even yet begun. We've just barely started, right? So who's ready, right? Are we ready, friends? Are we ready to play a larger game? Are we ready? Are we ready? That's what we ask every week. And I come together. I come every week to One Mountain to find my own center. That's why I come. Okay, I come to find my own center, right? And the center is this moment. There's a person I study with at Holy of Holies. I won't say his name, but he's a beautiful, beautiful young man, and he's a sports figure, and he's quarterback. Happens to be a quarterback, and he described to me very beautifully, right? You kind of step back to pass, right? In football, I don't watch football. And by the way, I have a terrible arm. Zach has a great arm. He throws a perfect football. I'm like devastated that I don't. Okay, but that's a separate problem that needs therapy. Okay, so you step back to pass, right? You step back to pass, right? And he describes how when he steps back to pass, he falls into complete center, and he can see the entire field, and you can feel everyone in the field, and where everyone is, right? That's the experience of being in One Mountain, right? In One Mountain, we feel each other. We're in the field together, right? We see each other, right? We're at play together, right? We realize the simple truth that we're already intimate. We're already wildly connected. We're already wildly together, right? We've not yet begun to love, okay? That's what we're up to here. We're up to a big game. And imagine, friends, just imagine, let's be just kind of wild for a second. Who's up for being wild for a second? Wild for a second. Paul, it's good to see you, right? Inika, right? Let's be wild for a second, right? How do you pronounce that name? Crystal, welcome. Great to see you. Stana, welcome. Amara, right? Becca, right? Welcome. David, right? Suzette, Myra, right? Welcome. Lynn, right? Like we're together, friends, right? We haven't yet begun. Imagine, just imagine for a second, right? Melissa, right? Welcome, right? Imagine, right, that actually One Mountain just explodes and people come from all over the world, right? And that we begin to actually, the story of value begins to expand and to spread, right? And we move it into all of our circles, and we take on particular causes, but there's this center, right? What animated the civil rights movement in America, right? Martin Luther King, right? What animated the civil rights movement? The gospel church. The gospel church. It was not NGOs. It wasn't anything else but the black gospel church. It was the black gospel church that animated the entire civil rights movement. So at this moment, we don't need a civil rights movement. We need a human. We need a movement of becoming human. What's going to animate this movement to become human in the world? This gospel church. And we don't want to be embarrassed or go, it's not a church, it's just a podcast, right? It's just a podcast, right? No, it's not just a podcast, right? We're in fucking sacred space, right? And we're loving each other, right? And we're in digital intimacy, right? And we're unabashed, and we're proud of it. Divine pride, as the Tibetan Buddhists said, right? Like, hot damn, right? I think that's a biblical quote. Hot damn. And it's direct. The Lord said, and God said to Moses, hot damn. Isn't that a quote? I think it's a quote. Because sometimes I can't find it exactly, but you get that? It's like big. Okay, this is a big deal, right? So I'm just kind of reminding myself, if you'll allow me to, and maybe you will listen in with me for a second. This is a big deal. This is not an automatic thing we do every week, right? We're trying to create a new space. We're trying to step into the digital and actually disclose its inherent nature, which is intimacy, right? In this screen together, we're in this screen. We're in the screen together means we're in this room together. It means we can touch each other. We can feel each other, right? We can hug each other. We can talk to each other at the same time. We can play music, right? And be in the same space and not have to leave the space. That's all possible here. That's all a wild innovation, right? So yes, we have to take on, right, lots of huge challenges. And we're going to do it through creating new structures in reality. And one of them is digital intimacy. Digital intimacy itself is a new structure of reality. And that's actually what we're doing. When we're doing, it's become such a given to us, we forget that we're doing it. And we're innovating together this wild, unbelievable thing. And I'm hoping Tom next week is going to be leading One Mountain, although he doesn't know that yet. Okay, so I'm gonna give him a buzz, right? So Tom's going to give us like this incredible, right? He's going to take us on an incredible journey next week. Like, oh my God, right? So like, here we are, right, friends? Here we are. Okay, so it's like insane, awesome, gorgeous to be together, right? And let's just like say hi to each other. Just find someone's eyes, right? Find something. There we are. There we are. Hi, everybody. It's just like gorgeous. Like, here we are, right? Cha, right? Right? Oh my God. Oh my God. Yay.